How much of your life have you spent waiting for people who are supposed to love you finally love you right? Waiting for the apology, the acknowledgement, the support that never came, and I'm sorry, my loves, will probably never come. I did that for years, and it almost cost me myself, it almost cost me my sanity. This is rule number 6. Alex Hormozi says one of the best ways to stay poor is to think that the world is fair and to blame your circumstances when it is not fair. And I want to be honest with you about something. I did not blame out loud. I did not point fingers. I did not make any accusations. I held resentment quietly in my body, in my choices, in the way I moved through the world. I grew up never receiving what I now call love frequency from my family. Not in the way a child needs to feel safe, whole, and seen. And I carried that silently for a long time. What it did to me without me even realizing it was make me believe that I was the odd man out. Like everyone else was given something at birth that I had missed, a foundation and a soft place to land, a safety net that I never got. And because I didn't know what support felt like from the inside, I ran towards the first people who offered it on the outside. I was not chasing love. I was chasing the feeling I had never been given, and I did not know how to give to myself. That is what unexamined resentment does. It does not just live in your heart, it makes decisions for you. My first marriage ended, and instead of collapsing into the familiar, the family, the city life, another relationship, the life I had always known, I packed my things and I moved to South Korea alone. And that isolation, which sounds like punishment, was actually the first gift I had ever given myself. Because for the first time in my life, there was no one telling me who I should be, how I should act, no family interference, no opinions about how I'm supposed to live. No one whose approval was quietly organizing my life. I cut my whole family off, and in that silence, I had found something I had been looking for my whole life: myself. I discovered what I actually thought, what I actually wanted, what I actually was capable of when nobody was around second guessing me. That is what happens when you stop blaming others and you start moving. And you start taking accountability for yourself. The circumstance that looked like failure, a divorce, a solo move to a foreign country, became the exact condition I needed to finally take ownership of my life. Now here's the part I want you to hear, because this is not just a mindset story, it's a spiritual one. When you carry resentment, even quiet resentment, even the kind you never speak out loud, it sits in your body like static, a low frequency hum that interferes with everything you are trying to build and receive. I held that resentment towards my family for years without fully naming it. But in South Korea, alone, isolated from everything I knew, with nothing but God and my own 2 hands, something shifted. Because when all you have to lean on is God, you find out very quickly whether God is real. And I found out. I traveled to a foreign country alone. I got a job. I built a life from nothing, and then traveled South Asia for 6 months by myself after that. I forced myself to go to a new country every month. And the entire time, I felt something I had never felt inside of a family, inside of a marriage, inside of a structure built by other people. I felt protected. I felt guided. I felt held. Not by a person, but by something bigger than any person had ever been for me. That was the moment the resentment released. Not because my family changed, not because anyone apologized, but because I found the source myself. And you can't hold that kind of resentment and walk in that kind of grace at the same time. Here's what I'm grateful for. The absence of support in my life made me a hyper-independent monster. And I mean that as a compliment. I did not wait to be saved. I did not need anybody's permission. I did not require anyone's validation to move. I built a business that has run over 10 years, has made 6 figures every year because I learned to believe in myself when no one else did. Yes, that independence isolated me. Yes, it made it hard to let people in. And yes, it is still something I am learning to balance. But even Jesus went through a period of isolation. Even the prophets did. The people who came back from the wilderness always came back with something the comfortable ones never had. The lack did not break me, it built me. And I would not trade the person it made me for anything that was withheld from me. Stop waiting for the world to be fair. Stop holding the quiet resentment towards the people who did not show up in the way you needed. Not for their sake, but for yours. Because every moment you spend looking behind you is a moment your back is turned to everything that is waiting for you. The circumstances that hurt you the most are always the ones that can build what is most unbreakable in you. Find that thing. Name it. Claim it as yours. This is the blueprint, 28 rules, one life at a time. If you made it this far and you appreciated this episode, please like and subscribe. And while you do that, think about who or what you've been holding quiet resentment towards and what it's costing you. Feel free to leave your answer in the comments. I'll read every single one. I'm Mila. Let's wake up. Let's go.